Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Midday News on Global Television. Coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja, I am Sadia Yakubu. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channels 365 and StarTimes channels 276. Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Benjamin Kalu, has intervened in the standoff between the federal government and indigenous contractors. These came after the contractors, owed 4 months, staged a protest in Abuja following his appointment as chairman of the House Special Committee on Budget Implementation by Speaker Abbas Tajuddin. Kalu convened an expanded meeting with the contractors, numbering over 80 across the country, with their leadership for an open dialogue on the issue. The Defense Headquarters says troops will sustain onslaught against terrorists and bandits throughout the farming season and beyond to allow farmers within the conflict zones to carry out farming activities unhindered. The Military High Command's Director of Operations, Major General Marcus Kange, during a news brief at the Defense Headquarters, stated that in the course of the months under review, troops eliminated some key terrorist commanders during firefights as well as through air bombardment. They also have arrested terrorists, kidnappers, and other criminals. The Chairman House Committee on Youth in Parliament, Ola Mujiwola Alao Akala, has called for constitutional and structural reforms to secure Nigerians' future and expand opportunities for its young population. He made this known at the Nigerian Youth Dialogue to mark International Youth Day in Abuja, and Nietil Patrick has details.
Speaking at the Nigerian Youth Dialogue in Abuja to mark International Youth Day, the Chairman, House Committee on Youth in Parliament, Olami Julonwo Alao Akala, noted that the nation's diversity and evolving realities demand dialogue and consensus building as a pathway to stability and development.
Nigeria is complex. In passing a bill is not easy. It's not easy at all. Like, for example, now, see the way we are seated here now. This even shows Nigeria in one way. From the north, from the southwest, from the southeast, from the north central. So, passing a bill, you have to consider everybody's area.
Also contributing, Mukhtar Shagaya assured that lawmakers are committed to promoting policies that empower young Nigerians in entrepreneurship, digital innovation, climate action, and governance. He emphasized the need to translate ideas from such dialogues into budgets, programs, and legislation that deliver real impact.
As legislators, we remain committed to strengthening policies that empower young people, whether in entrepreneurship, digital innovation, climate action, or governance.
Representatives of development partners, including Plan International Nigeria and Action Aid, highlighted the creativity and resilience of young people as critical drivers.
For us, really, young people are the priority in all our engagements. Of course, we know that young people make up the majority of the population. And in terms of nation building, any direction which we want to steer this nation forward, the young people have to be the pillar.
We've heard from the youth what is happening, and that informed the State of the Nigerian Youth report. So today we are going to launch that report. We are going to dialogue. So it gives us a mirror into reality of young persons across Nigeria, across the 6 geopolitical zones.
As Nigeria marks International Youth Day, the message from lawmakers and development partners is clear. The country's future depends on reforms that give young people not just a voice, but a seat at the table of nation building. Nietil Patrick, reporting for Global TV.
The Northern Group Progressive Elders Group has urged the federal government to resist calls for the creation of state police, warning that such a move could worsen political crisis and insecurity in the country. Speaking on behalf of the group, a senior member, Yusuf Abubakar, argued that while insecurity remains a major challenge across Nigeria, particularly in the north and the southwest states, controlled police forces are not solution. Abubakar said the nation already has multiple security agencies, including federal police and the military, but the real problem lies in the politicalization of security matters. To strengthen food production and tackle rising agricultural costs, the federal government, in collaboration with the Federal Capital Territory Administration, have launched the sales and distribution of subsidized fertilizer and other agro-input to farmers in the territory. The initiative is part of ongoing effort to empower local farmers and ensure food security in the nation's capital. Kabir Hassan reports.
The launch ceremony in Abuja drew stakeholders, traditional leaders, and farming community who welcomed the intervention as timely support for food production in the FCT. The FCT Minister, Nyesom Wike, who was represented by the Chief of Staff, FCT, Chidi Amadi, says the program aligns with President Bola Tinubu's agricultural agenda to strengthen food security while improving farmers' livelihoods. He explained that the input subsidized by 50% will be distributed under close monitoring to guarantee transparency and impact.
To officially flag off the distribution and sales of fertilizers at 50% subsidized rates to farmers across the 6 area councils of the FCT. This initiative underscores our firm commitment to food security, agricultural revitalization, and the welfare of our people. These interventions are reclaiming degraded lands, supporting livelihoods, and revitalizing key agricultural sectors. Let me reaffirm that this administration remains committed to building a prosperous, inclusive, and secured city. Our enhanced security efforts are already restoring confidence in our communities and providing a safe environment for agriculture and investment.
The chairman of the All Farmers Association of Nigeria, FCT chapter, Ibrahim Dauda, praised this gesture, describing it as a lifeline for farmers battling the high cost of input. He emphasizes that consistent government support will help farmers meet the growing food demand and contribute to national stability.
To show our profound gratitude for all that the Secretariat, Agri-Secretariat have been doing for us. They are always there on time for us. They're always engaging us on issues. This is the work of the Agri-Secretariat here, and we say thank you so much. And we are assuring you that we, the farmers, will always be there to support the government in achieving the ultimate aim of the president in having food security in Nigeria.
With distribution now underway, farmers across the territory are hopeful of a more productive season and improved yield. The government on its part has assured that similar intervention will continue to drive its food security agenda. Kabir Hassan, Global CV News.
Abia State government has dismissed 6 officers of the Ministry of Justice after an internal audit and administrative inquiry found that they manipulated payroll systems to receive excess salaries. The dismissals are contained in a statement signed by the chairman of the Abia State Civil Service Commission, Eno Ezi. The Nigerian Armed Forces says troops across the country are recording major victories in the fight against terrorism, banditry, oil theft, and other crimes. The Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Marcus Kange, made this known while keeping journalists abreast with the operational activities of the armed forces. Kike Lomo Okiri completes the reports.
From the northeast to the south-south, the Defense Headquarters says August 2025 was marked by intensified operations that restored relative peace and secured lives and properties. At the operational briefing in Abuja, the Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Marcus Kenge, highlighted the gains made by troops in collaboration with other security agencies. He says several terrorist commanders were neutralized, while kidnappers, gun runners, and their informants were arrested during the operations. Among them were suspects behind attacks in Plateau, Kaduna, and Kogi states.
Troops eliminated some key terrorist commanders during firefights as well as through air bombardment. They have also arrested terrorists, kidnappers, and other criminals. The likes of Adamu Buba, otherwise known as My Panshin in Rion, and Abdullahi Abubakar, who have been terrorizing Rafiki village in Basa local government area of Plateau State. We are taking off while two suspected gun runners were arrested along Koi Kefi Road in Jama'a local government area of Kaduna State.
The director reveals that in the South-South, troops under Operation Delta Safe foiled oil theft worth over 545 million naira, destroying illegal refining sites and arresting oil thieves. In the Northeast, Operation Adinkai eliminated Boko Haram and ISWAP fighter, dismantled terrorist networks, and enabled displaced persons to safely return to farming. Meanwhile, in the Southeast, troops uncovered and destroyed camps linked to separatist elements and recovered arms, ammunition, and explosives.
Troops across the theater recovered large quantities of various arms, such as automatic weapons, rocket-propelled grenades, anti-aircraft guns, machine guns, locally fabricated guns, and improvised explosive devices. Also, some cache of live cartridges and assorted ammunition were recovered.
On the issue of protests by some discharged soldiers over gratuity and allowances, the Defense Headquarters clarifies that entitlements were calculated based on the wage chart effective at the time of retirement, urging the protesting veterans to act with caution. The armed forces reaffirmed their commitment to defending Nigeria's territorial integrity and supporting civil authorities to ensure peace and security nationwide. Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News.
You're watching the live broadcast of Midday News. When Midday News returns, Putin warns Western troops in Ukraine will be legitimate targets. Details coming shortly, plus business and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us. Welcome back. In business, Asian and European markets advanced on Friday in line with a global equity rally ahead of the U.S. job report that will give insight about the Federal Reserve next move on interest rates. Friends, the sell-off of Chinese stocks, meanwhile, slowed over reports of a regulatory clampdown. The global bond market also eased after yield had jumped this week on concern over mounting government debts. The Madrid Customs Service Port Harcourt Area 2 Command Oni in Rivers State says it has collected a total of 859 billion naira as revenue between May 2024 and July 2025. The command's public relations officer Theophilus Dunia disclosed this in a document made available to newsmen, analyzing the tenure of Mohammed Babandede as the Customs Area Controller of the command. Madrid's National Assembly will next week welcome lawmakers and accountability experts from across the continent for the 11th Annual Conference of the West Africa Association of Public Accounts Committees. Chairman House Committee on Public Accounts Bamidele Salam said the 5-day gathering is expected to attract over 300 delegates, including legislators, auditor generals, financial experts, and development partners from West Africa and beyond. And Nyete Patri completes the reports.
Chairman of the House Committee on Public Accounts, Bamidele Salam, says hosting the conference in Abuja is timely, stressing it will serve as a platform for experience sharing and advancing fiscal transparency. With the theme, strengthening parliamentary oversight of public debt, the role of finance and public accounts committees, discussions will center on enhancing scrutiny of borrowing practices and improving debt management across the region.
The whole goal, the gamut of the goal is to ensure that at the end of this conference, each of the parliament participating, each of the organizations participating will go home with takeaways that will strengthen them to be able to deliver more on what the constitution of each country has placed on them to do. And of course, this is exactly what our own committee and our own institution will also be looking forward to. But beyond that, we're also looking forward to establishing the leadership of Nigeria in some of these regional bodies.
The Speaker of the House, Tajuddin Abbas, will officially open the conference while the Minister of Finance is billed to deliver the keynote address. Leaders of WAPAC, AfroPac, and several development partners will also be in attendance. The conference will conclude with country-specific action plans designed to strengthen parliamentary oversight and ensure sustainable debt management in West Africa.
This steering committee is made up of stakeholders from different ministries, departments, and agencies of government, including the Nigerian Immigration Service, the Federal Ministry of Finance, the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, Office of the Auditor General for the Federation, the ECOWAS Parliament, the Nigerian Police Force,
Destiny,
the Department of State Service, the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria,
IES,
and of course, members of the Parliament.
As delegates deliberate in Abuja, the outcome of the WAPAC conference is expected to set a clear roadmap for parliaments across West Africa to improve debt oversight, strengthen accountability, and safeguard the region's economic future. Anieti Patrick, reporting for Global TV.
On the foreign scene, United States has approved $32.5 billion in assistance to Nigeria to help address hunger in a rare shift in United States foreign policy since President Donald Trump suspended most aid through the United States Agency for International Development. The United States mission to Nigeria in a statement said the funding will provide food assistance and nutritional support to internally displaced people in conflict-affected areas. The United States mission said the donation would provide food and nutrition assistance to 764,205 beneficiaries across the northeast and northwest of Africa's most populous country. Russian President Vladimir Putin warned on Friday that any Western forces deployed to Ukraine would be a legitimate target for Moscow's army. A day after Kyiv's allies said they had committed to a troop presence in the event of a peace deal. 24 countries led by France and Britain pledged to join a reassurance force on land, a sea, in the air to patrol any deal. He added that the development of such a force was not conducive to long-term peace and said Ukraine's closer military ties with the West were one of what he calls the root cause of the conflicts. The White House says that President Donald Trump is changing the name of the Department of Defense to the Department of War, insisting the rebrand will project a more powerful image. A White House document shows that while the department's official name is set in law, Trump is an exclusive order is authorizing use of the new label as a secondary title by his administration. And in sports, Nigerians under-17 girls, the Flamingos, have opened camp in Abuja as preparations begin for the 2025 FIFA Under-17 Women World Cup final, scheduled to take place in Moscow from October 17 to November 8. Head coach Bankole has called up 30 players, including 4 goalkeepers, 9 defenders, 9 midfielders, and 9 forwards for the exercise. The invited players are expected to report to him on Sunday. Head coach of the Nigerian Basketball Premier League outfit, Rivers Hoopers, Ododa, has expressed satisfaction with his team's outing against Kwara Falcons in the last outing and is looking forward to the next phase of the 2025 NBPL season. The defending champions continued their unbeaten starts in the group phase of the Atlantic Conference by edging Kwara Falcons 88 goals to 86 in their midweek encounter in Port Harcourt. The 2024 Balbros medal winner had earlier beaten the same opponent 83 goals to 61 in their opening games of the new campaign as they aim to reach the next round. That's it on Midday News. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV, channels 365, StarTimes, channels 276. Kindly follow us across all the social media platforms now showing on your screen using @Global TV NG. I am Sadia Yakubu saying thank you for watching.